the morning he got the Nobel Peace Prize, he was rumored for it. The press at 5 o'clock in the morning were outside his residence. And of course, I had to be there. And I went into the residence. He came down with Nan. He might have been in pajamas, I'm not even sure. And I got a call from Norwegian Broadcasting. They said, look, the announcement is being made now, listen. And I could hear Kofi Annan and the UN. So I said, sir, I think you and the UN have got it. And I was so proud, I wanted to hug him. But I said, oh, he's the Secretary General, I can't do that. And then I said, dang, I really regretted that. So years later, I had announced my retirement. There was the usual party with the press. And Kofi came down, and he came up to me, and he hugged me. I mean, he must have known, because I said in an interview, a CNN interview, I think, I told him this story, something I really regretted. And not much escapes his attention, so I think he was paying me back.
There was always a certain aloofness that set him aside. I don't want to say above, but it was set him above the humdrum of everyday life. He was able to see what we didn't see sometimes, to see the global picture, where we were getting angry or getting anxious. He had a very calm presence. His belief in the ability of the UN and the international community to improve the quality of life on the planet was immense. He believed in the institution, and he believed in its ability to do good, and he believed that if it didn't exist, we would have to invent it. We all have personal stories about Kofi Annan. That's the kind of man he is. He had a way with people, and he had a personal touch. If he met you in the corridor, he would say, oh, hello, by your first name. Hello, Ahmed. How are the children? By name. He would make a point of making people feel important to him. I must say that Kofi Annan's passing has left a huge void in the world and in our hearts. The world has lost a moral voice, and we have lost a friend, a mentor, and an inspiring leader.
Either we work together to solve these problems, be it climate change, be it mass epidemics, be it hunger and poverty, or be it very large-scale atrocities and violations of human rights. And unless we agree on some basic principles and are prepared to act on them, then we're all going to sink together. And I think that is a lesson that the world still needs to learn, but the fact that people are mourning Kofi Annan so, so strongly indicates, I think, that there are many people in the world who realize that that's what's missing and that that's the kind of leadership that's needed today. After he'd retired, and he and Nan were living in Geneva, they found it difficult, just to go for a walk in the street, because so often he was recognized and people would stop him and want his autograph or whatever. And then one day there was a marathon in Geneva, and so they thought, well, let's go out for a walk today, because nobody will be interested in us, because people will be watching the marathon. And one of the runners in the marathon actually came off the course and came up to him and asked for his autograph. So perhaps that gives you an idea of this rock star quality that he had.
I learned that I think the secret of why everybody respected him, and I saw him talk to refugees and to presidents. I saw him talk to his assistants and to his close protection officers and to the Undersecretary General. and he all addressed them the same way. Every single person was a unique human being, I think, to him. And you know, we discussed how amazing it was that in these very dire circumstances, you had these little kids running around with these huge smiles on their face, being kids, you know. And this is what interested him, was really the humanity of these people that, you know, we sometimes take as statistics. There's internally displaced people, or we think of the political context, the situation in the Sudan and the Security Council. He just wanted to come back to the essential thing. And I think when I have doubts about what we do at the UN, this is what I try to go back to, is really, this is about, you know, one person, maybe one little kid running around in Darfur, and we have to think of them first, despite all the frustrations that we can face in a big bureaucracy. And this is what will stay with me.